What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going back to Battlefield 5 in my series, My Favorite Weapons of Battlefield. And today we're featuring one of the more unique shotguns to have ever been in any of the Battlefield games, the M30 drilling. Now, what makes this weapon so unique is the fact that it's got 3 barrels. It has 2 12-gauge barrels and 1 centerfire barrel that's actually located below both barrels that is chambered in what would be, in the modern terms, a 370 Nitro Express. So it's a rifle round, and it hits like a ton of bricks. Now, unfortunately, my loadout screenshot for this weapon would not work, so I'm just gonna have to tell you exactly what it is that I use. I prefer quick aim, penetrating shot, heavy load, and finally I use the custom stock. So this is gonna give you a little bit more snappy aiming with the shotgun, and it's gonna have the custom stock so you can move a little bit faster. And then the penetrating shot is gonna allow your buckshot to penetrate through targets, and then the other perk will actually increase your lethal damage by about 2 meters, which is a huge difference when using a shotgun. Any extra little bit of damage you can get is gonna go a long way. The one thing that's critical about this shotgun is you have to pick your engagements extremely carefully. You have 2 shots, maybe 3 if you're really good at holding down Y and getting off that rifle round. I'm not very good with that. If I use the rifle round at all, it's to pick off a very kind of, I guess, distracted snipers or anything that is kind of out of shotgun range, as long as they're not looking directly at me. That's why I particularly like to use the magnification scope on this as opposed to a red dot. And I really have enjoyed this weapon tremendously. There's something about a shotgun in any first-person shooter game that is just so visceral and satisfying. It makes you feel like you're the Doomslayer or any other game. I mean, now, this is not to say that this is as strong as Battlefield 1's A10 Hunter on release. That was an absolute disaster, and I can remember actually not playing the game for a couple weeks because that gun was so strong and so game-breaking. This particular shotgun is just a very fun, interesting situational weapon. Again, like I said earlier, it comes down to, can you pick your engagements properly? Because if you can't, you're not going to have a good time with this gun. You can take out 2 targets at absolute maximum, and if they're outside the lethal damage range, you will not get the kill, and you need to be able to follow up with your pistol. Now, that means you have got to get pretty good with the 1911. As I've said in several of my other videos, the sidearms in Battlefield 5 are extremely bad, and they're borderline boring, but that does not mean they're ineffective. There are several different revolvers that are very strong. I stick with the 1911 because I kind of have the muscle memory down for it. But your mileage may vary with whatever weapon you decide to use as your sidearm. One thing that I would like to point out with the support class, the pistol grenade launcher. With very few exceptions, this is one of my favorite gadgets in any single Battlefield game. It's unique. It gives you a chance as a support player to help support taking down tanks, and it's just fun. It's got a great animation, the little barrel flick at the end. You've got a really cool sound effect. It's just that nice grenade launcher chunk sound, and it's very good. Now, in that clip that just passed, you can actually kind of see what happens when you go into a room that is completely filled with people. I got 2, switched the pistol, almost got 3, and got killed from the side. It happens. This is not a gun for very tight multi-person engagements. I'm sorry, you're like, unless you're just God tier, and I am not. I'm good at Battlefield 5. I'm good at Battlefield 1. I was decent at Battlefield 4 and Hardline, but I am not God tier, and I'm the worst pilot that has ever tried. But you can have a great time with this shotgun as long as you're using it in its role, which is flanking, ambush, and taking out small targets at a distance. There are quite a few pretty good shots of me hitting the long distance shots. I was never at a range that was long enough that it would not be a one-shot kill to the head, but apparently outside of certain ranges it can be. I don't actually have that tested, and by the time I had the footage together for this, I was feeling a lot more confident in my ability to hit those shots, because the bullet's travel time from the 370 Nitro is extremely fast. Like, it really does not deviate. If you put it on their head, it doesn't seem to matter. You're going to get that headshot kill, and it is going to be satisfying, and they're going to rage. But anyway, guys, we're approaching 200 subs. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I've got new content coming out every week for Battlefield 5, and with 2042 being delayed, that just gives me a little more time to put out more Battlefield 5, Battlefield 1, and maybe even some Battlefield 4 content. So thanks, guys. Have a great day.